Now, the book launch program, Navigating Culture Through Formal Aesthetics. It's 6 decades of Professor Bhaskaran's journey in visual art. So, I'll be introducing book once the formal welcome speech is done. Now, I request Shashidhar sir to welcome you formally.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವಿಶ್ವದ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಕಲಾವಿದರಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿ ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರ ಸುದೀರ್ಘ 60 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಲಾ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದವರ ಅಪ್ರತಿಮ ಸಾಧನೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಹೊರಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಸಂಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಬಿಂದು ಹಾಗೂ ಗೌರವ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆರ್ ಬಿ ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರು ಚೆನ್ನೈಯಿಂದ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. And I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. And we are privileged to have you with here. Mr. R. B. Bhaskaran has been a great friend and supporter of Parishad for decades. And he has always supported and stood with the Chitragala Parishad during difficult times. And it is always a pleasure to have him here in the premises of Parishad. I request our Joint Secretary, Chandrasekhar, to hand over a bouquet to Professor R. B. Bhaskaran. ಇಂದಿನ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿಸುವಂಥ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಭಾಳ ಚಿರಪರಿಚಿತವಾದ ಹೆಸರು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ IAS ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೂ ಸಹ ಕಲೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಪಾರ ಕಾಳಜಿ ವಹಿಸಿ ಮಹತ್ತರವಾದ ಕೊಡುಗೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥವರು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರು. ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಿಸಿರುವ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತು ಮತ್ತು ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಆದರದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಶ್ರೀ BL ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅವರು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೂಗುಚ್ಛ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ಕೋತೇನೆ. ದೇಶದ ಮತ್ತೋರ್ವ ಪ್ರಖ್ಯಾತ ಕಲಾವಿದರು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಲಲಿತಕಲಾ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಆದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ MS ಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರು ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗಾದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರು. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇವತ್ತು ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಅಪ್ಪಾಜಯ್ಯ ಅವರು MS ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೂಗುಚ್ಛವನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೋರ್ಬೇಕು. The man behind the publication of this great book, Mr. A. Ramanathan, is with us on the dais, and an architect by profession, but driven by his passion for art and design. He has founded a design college, a DOT Design College in Chennai, and he also owns the publications, and he is the man behind bringing out this great illustrious book. And he has travelled all the way from Chennai, And I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. Nice to have you with us on this dais. I request our college principal, Dr. Gomati Gowda, to hand over a bouquet to Mr. Ramnath. ಇಂದಿನ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಎಲ್ ಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಎಲ್ ಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಮಲಾಕ್ಷಿ ಅವರು ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೂಗುಚ್ಛನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ವಿನಂತಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಂದಿನ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಅನೇಕ ಹಿರಿಯ ಕಲಾವಿದರು ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗದಿಂದ ಹಿರಿಯ ಕಲಾವಿದ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ವಿಜಯ ಅಂದಾನಿ ಅವರು ಸಹ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಮಿಸ್ ಸಾರಾ ಅರಕ್ಕಲ್ ಅವರು, ಇನ್ನು ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನರು, ಆರ್ ಬಿ ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಕುಟುಂಬದ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ದೇರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವೇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಚೆನ್ನೈ. ಎ ವೆರಿ ಹಾರ್ಟಿ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಯು ಆಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕಾರಿ ಸಮಿತಿ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಸದಸ್ಯರು, ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಜಯ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ವರ್ಗ, ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ ವರ್ಗ, ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮಿತ್ರರು, ಕಲಾಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಆತ್ಮೀಯವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Now we are moving into a very important event. I'll be introducing a book that has been published by Dot Publication. Ramanathan is here with us, and he also organized a first retrospective of Professor Bhaskaranji in his college last year. It was in 2022, and also on that connection only the book was also released. The book is not a journey of his biography. As it is rightly mentioned, the 6 decades of Professor R.B. Bhaskaran's artistic journey. You know, there are about 13 chapters, small chapters, very meticulously put all the material together about Professor Bhaskaran. And the very title of the book itself, you know, takes us to a different world. It is not mentioning by name or something about his work, and it is read the title like Navigating Culture Through the Formal Aesthetics. The book it's not just the journey of Professor Bhaskaran, it is also journey of South Indian modernism. The role of Professor Bhaskaran in the South Indian modernity and his place in the South Indian modern movements as within the part of an academic setup. He himself was a student of Madras School of Art, studied under K.C.S. Panikar, Dhanapal G.S. Dhanapal and Janaki Raman and stalwarts like that, and also closely associated with the Chaudhary's, D.P. Roy Chaudhary's the guidance. We always say that the artist in him was inherited, and artist in him can be seen in his young age itself. His maternal uncle, Namah Shivayam, was a alumnus of the Madras School of Art and also classmate of K.C.S. Panikar. So he came under the influence of his maternal uncle, Namah Shivayam. In his own words, very beautifully he has said, I just read one paragraph of that. The banners would be kept outside the theatre during the show. As a young boy, I observed these artists' work on film posters. I started by cleaning the brushes they used. With time progressed to paint using 4-inch and 6-inch brushes. In his documentary, he has mentioned he was only 8-year-old when he started handling 4 and 6 inches of the brushes and also cleaning them. The artist, his maternal uncle, gradually allows him to fill the area of the drawing with the colors. That is how his interaction with the art started when he was only 8-year-old. So that took him to Fine Art College as early as after almost 20 years. From 59 onwards he was a student, and by 70 he completed his education, and then he became faculty in the same institute as he only started the department of printmaking, graphic art. So in between there are also very interesting thing. there's a very interesting thing. He also quotes, Brushes, my biggest dream when I joined college was to be another Namashivayam Pillai, his maternal uncle. I wanted to paint movie banners. But as the time passes, when he became a regular student in College of Fine Arts there, Madras College of Art, when I joined the art college, I realized how much work I had already done. I could work really fast. The hands were so much trained, and his imagination and his understanding of the society. So when he became part of the modern movement, so he also had a role as an honorary secretary when the society was organized, along with all stalwarts, his own teachers and also colleagues. So very interestingly, the book, which has been beautifully authored by a veteran art historian and a well-known professor from Stella Maris, Professor Ashrafi S. Bhagat. So it is divided into 13 chapters, and each chapter she gives a very interesting title. The first chapter, Breaking the Mold Art of the Late 60s and Early 70s. Then followed by the dynamics of emerging concepts and imagery. This particular chapter speaks about the role of Indian modernity and role of the place of Bhaskaran in it. And then there is no any ambiguity in any of the description, like the way he's, if we try to look at Bhaskaran's entire career, he has touched upon almost all possible mediums that were there in those days. So he was part of Guru Shishya Parampara when the dialogues with me, and he always refers Guru Shishya Parampara, how it was directly one-to-one teaching and also taking from his teachers. And his interest about the animals that he uses in his paintings, as a metaphor, as a symbol, and the objects, and also the marriage photos, like especially the wedding, the newly wedded couple, and their different faces has been captivated, and also they are being transformed into his own imagery. And there also he speaks about animate and inanimate forms of still life, rediscovering the still life in early 90s, referring back to Klee, Paul Klee, and other stalwarts like John Miro and Picasso. Why can't we redesign them, bring them into our own painting? Along with human figures, landscapes, he also introduces still life. Still life as a very kinetic object within the surface. Then Bhaskaran's landscape as a genre, his own discourses on the nude studies, and graphic as an aesthetic entity like a printmaking. And he has done exceptionally beautiful prints. One can go down and have a look. All his drawings and prints have been displayed in the Devaraj Arsu gallery in the downstairs. I request all of you to have a chance to look at them and also discuss with Professor Bhaskaran tomorrow and day after he is in the gallery. And also, the drawing as a mother of all visual art, like imagination, like bringing the drawing as a main entity, how the drawing is important for an artist. Like yesterday I was talking to him, he was telling like how he started portrait. See, one portrait in one particular style, and immediately he would not follow that, and there would be some new imagery will be developed. So interestingly, Ashrafi Bhagat has recorded all these happenings, all these details in this book, and also techniques and mediums, and also space, aesthetics of the Bhaskaran's overview. And there is a beautiful dialogue between Ashrafi Bhagat and Professor Bhaskaran at the end. So the whole book is beautifully designed and printed by Sudarshan Graphics in 144 pages. So in a nutshell, it is like when you open the seashell, you will find the pearl. So all chapters are like pearl, beautifully narrated, and I congratulate especially Ramanathan and as a publisher, because he is the one who ventured and also decided to bring the book. And I have gone through the pre-print pages, and also I know how the book formed in the beginning and how it came to this particular shape. So the book will be released now, and also book will be for sale. Those who are interested, you can buy. Today they have kept 25% discount. And also you can, don't forget to take signature from Professor Bhaskaran after buying the book. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request to release the book. Now we have a small ritual. We would like to honor Professor R.B. Bhaskaran. Yeah, we also would like to give a memento from the CKP family to Professor Bhaskaran. And it will be great honor to our institute too to honor you. Now I request Chiranjeevi Singh sir to address the gathering.
Professor R.B. Bhaskaran, Dr. B.L. Shankar, Thiru Ramanath, Dr. M.S. Murthy, Dr. Kulkarni, and Shri Shashidhar, and friends. It is indeed an honor for me to release this book and be present on this occasion. As you have been told and you know, Professor Bhaskaran is one of the iconic figures of modern Indian art. See, as you have been just told by Dr. Kulkarni, he started as a child helping his uncle, who was a banner painter. Now, I don't think there can be better training than that, because Hussain also started that way. He was a banner painter. And our own, the late K.R. Ramachandran sir was also a banner painter. Unfortunately, he never got his due. But to my mind, he was one of the significant artists of Karnataka. Now, his journey, and I think this title is intriguing because navigating culture through formal aesthetics. Formal aesthetics, I think, is the key word, because sometimes about modern art, there is a feeling that anyone can do any strokes and that's modern art. That's not the case. You must learn the grammar first in order to break the rules of grammar. Unless you do that, it will be nonsense. So, culture, the navigating culture is another interesting pointer, because he has been involved in these discussions about what is modern in Indian art. Now, it's now, I think, over 100 years old since Tagore and Gaganendranath Tagore brought modernism to the Indian art. If you consider Victorians like Raja Ravi Verma and others as part of the Western tradition, then the question was how to make an Indian art Indian And Abanindranath Tagore and the entire Bengal school came up, taking inspiration from China and Japan and Indian miniature painting, Indian Jaina manuscripts, as well as Ajanta and other old paintings. So this debate, it's interesting that after even 100 years, today also we are talking what is modern, what is modern in Indian art, to which Professor Bhaskaran's reply was very interesting. He says, whatever an Indian artist paints is modern Indian art, which I think is probably the best definition of modern Indian art, that an Indian artist painting today, whatever he paints is modern Indian art. If you see the paintings, you'll realize that these paintings, whatever the idiom, there are figurative paintings, there are expressionist paintings, there are near abstract paintings. It's not into pure abstraction, but I mean, whatever style he has decided to express himself in, and the key word is express himself in. Whatever he felt was the most appropriate way of expressing what he wanted to say is the style, and that's what is modern Indian, the Indian in modern Indian art, and therefore he's a seminal figure in art because he has defined what modern Indian art is. It's interesting that this debate continues, and when people talk of modern Indian art, they still talk of it. You go to France, you go to any other country, you will not find any discussion on what is modern. It is accepted. Now, after 100 years, if we are still debating what is modern in Indian art, then I think it just shows that we need to keep up to the trends in art. Now, I congratulate Dr. Thiru Ramnath for bringing out this publication, because the number of art books in India is very, very meager. Earlier in the 40s and 50s, Karl Khandalawala and M.S. Randhawa, they brought out volumes on Indian miniatures. And then some books about fresco paintings, Ajanta and all. But the total number of publications on Indian artists, if you take, it is less than the output in English language in 1 year of art books. Therefore, much more needs to be done to take art to the people. And that can be done only through publications like these. Therefore, it's a matter of great happiness that Thiru Ramnath ventured to publish this book. Now, Karnataka, take the case of Karnataka. How many books are there about artists in Karnataka? Can you think of any? About Hebbar, yes, there are a couple of publications. Sindoor has got one book. Sindoor and who else? No one. And this is where the question of taking art to people comes in. Also, I think institutions like the Chitrkala Parishad have to take this much more seriously, publication, because if art has to be taken to people, it has to be done only through this way, through reproductions, in the book form, in portfolios, in pictures which can be kept at home. Now you go to any place and you find many pictures of many reproductions of other artists in the houses, but what about our own artists? So this is something which is necessary. And as far as Bhaskaran Sahab's journey is concerned, there is something very interesting which you will find here. I'll just show something here. This painting is there in this salon. Now, I'm sure you can see this. How do you interpret it, this painting? You can say this is the Gujarati couple. You can say this is a wedding photograph. You can say this is an Indian couple. This is actually Gandhiji and Kasturba. So, whatever you feel about a subject and you express it, and how you express it, that is, I think, important. And this is why Bhaskaran Sahab's journey in art is very important, because it teaches us how to approach modern art and what changes have taken place in the world of art. We are very lucky that we have artists like him who have not only been practicing artists, but have been also art teachers and art administrators. He has been an inspiring teacher. And probably today you have his students also teaching art. And when you have a teacher's students also becoming teachers, then in our tradition, that person is called Mahamohopadhyaya. So Professor Bhaskaran today is Mahamohopadhyaya, and his contribution as teacher is as great as his contribution as an artist. Also, as an art administrator, he has been head of the Lalit Kala Academy at the central level, at the state level, many institutions. He has mentored many institutions, including Chitrakala Parishad. His relationship with Chitrakala Parishad has also been a very old one, and he has been an inspiration for students here. Sir, we salute you for all that you have done for the artists. And this exhibition is significant because it's a retrospective, though not his full work. His full work is so much that I don't think any retrospective can bring all his work together, but it's significant in the sense that you see his journey from the beginning till now, and also how his relationship with the developments in art has been a live one. That's why it is navigating culture through formal aesthetics. That's what he is concerned with. As he himself says, cat is just a symbol. How you approach a cat, how you depict it, is where the formal aesthetics comes in. And this is why he has been concerned with teaching his students the formal aesthetics and allowing them to then express their own way. And then once you have taught the grammar, then they are on their own. They can do whatever they wish to do. And for us, those who are viewing his pictures, it's a training in visual appreciation. See, when Gandharvji started the first music school in Lahore, before that there were no music schools. It was just Guru Shishya, this thing. And then Vishnu Paluskarji, Digambar, he started this. People made fun of him. He said, "Are you going to produce Tanseins in your school?" He said, "If not Tansen, at least I'll produce Kanseins." So for us, for people, even if you cannot paint yourself, at least by seeing these works, you can learn to appreciate what art is. And that's why this exhibition is very, very welcome. Thank you very much, sir, for enabling us to see your entire journey through art and allowing not only the students, but also art lovers of Bangalore to savor your great works. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to say a few words. And I hope more and more people would be able to visit and see this exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad and Bhaskaran sir, they have a bonded relation from last 5 decades. Since the beginning of the Chitrakala Parishad, and he had a very close association with Professor late M.S. Nanjunrao. He was the first person to be part of the first BOS, Board of Studies, which was formed when College of Fine Arts was affiliated to Bangalore University, along with Professor Ratan Parimu, Shanko Chaudhary and others. So, as a teacher, as an artist, as an art administrator, we have seen him, he is only 81-year-old young man. He is only 81-year-old. He born in 1943, June 10th. So when I visited his studio 2 years back, he was painting almost 6 feet by 4 feet long canvas and continuously working. And he gave us a time in the afternoon. We spent nearly 3 to 4 hours. He said, next time you come, by the time I'll keep ready 2 more canvases along with this. It means he's a workaholic, right from the morning to evening, work, and also talk to the youngsters. So now I request M.S. Murthy sir to come and address the gathering. M.S. Murthy sir, we were just discussing, very good friend of all of us and also a very good artist, very creative and has been part of literary movements, art movements, Kala Yatra, Kala Mela, and also he was a Lalit Kala Academy chairman, known for his very, very innovative and very sharp criticism about the art and also about the painting. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, respectful dignitaries of dais and my fellow artists and art lovers. Today is a very beautiful evening, and first of all I like to congratulate Chitrakala Parishad chairman and secretary and the team which successfully done this beautiful retrospective exhibition of this legend. It's a great opportunity for each and every artist of Karnataka. You can see directly artist and artwork is achievement. I think when I was experiencing this show, a retrospective show, I was imagining how R.B. Bhaskaran sir, first solo show, that time how he was enjoyed that show, first solo show, until this is the another important retrospective show in his lifetime. So every artist celebrate its beautiful celebration of this solo shows, and it is not a concluding show according to me. Retrospective means it is nothing but introspection of the artist's life journey, how he traveled from noise to sound and silence, how he understood the society, how he understood the images of characters, and how he able to transfer it aesthetically as work of art. These are the very important experience of any artist. What I believe, see, this experience make him become a legend or a great human being. If you don't have any experience, you can create only materialistic, colorful, attractive images you create. It looks, the common people will see as dead images. He cannot understand this whisper of this artworks. Why we appreciate and why we respect such a legend artist because of nearly more than 6 decades as an artist in India. The cultural scene is totally different from this Europe and other developed countries. But in India, as our another legend, visual dictionary of our time, Dr. Chiranjeevi Singh already spoke about this, our great artist, and he knows everything, each and every stage of this Karnataka art cultural scenery. In fact, I know the Bhaskaran sir from many decades. Why I enjoy his communication, particularly that's not just he complete one work and exhibit and he will forget. He is always connected every second what the society is communicating to him. And also another beautiful thing which we are not able to see in this time, the senior artist, such a respectful artist, a big artist, he enjoyed everything, all the experience of this society. He is still able to see this young artist works and his images, and he never lost his curiosity. That inquisitivity he got, he knows, he want to see other work as a like child. That ways of seeing is very, very needed for this art community. Art fraternity should learn from this. I think such a beautiful retrospective exhibition, by seeing each and every visitor of this exhibition, every artist and our students can able to understand how the society was and how society is and how we should be. Everything he can understand. 3 level of the society he can able to understand through these images. This is the very great opportunity what Bhaskaran sir created, and he accepted the Chitakala Parishad invitation. For that, for Karnataka, BF of Karnataka artists, I like to thanks to R.B. Bhaskaran given opportunity to see his work, whole body of the work. Similarly, he is not exhibited in Chennai, his hometown. He exhibited in Karnataka. It means it's such a beautiful, good gesture we have. We welcome other artists, and also long back we welcomed in Kalamela when I was a secretary of Kalamela, 2003. Over phone I invited him and he came. He is so generous and he loves art community, art fraternity and young generation. So all this beautiful behaviors, the artist personality is carrying legacy from the ancient. I am very grateful to Dr. Bhaskaran and Chitakala Parishad. Again and again I expect Chitakala Parishad should take care of this such masterpieces works and exhibit. More and more opportunity should create for the Karnataka artists and our students. And I think the Chitakala Parishad students are very lucky to have such a wonderful exhibition and get inspired for the next generation. And we miss the chance. We never, in 80s, 70s, we never get this such a beautiful exhibition. There is no gallery at all in Bangalore. So here the present students are very lucky, and good teachers are there, good exhibitions are there, good institution already. The Mr. Nanjun Rao, I remember always, he created such a beautiful place to have such a wonderful programs like this for the next generation. So I request all the young students, spread the message. Maximum they have to come and see this exhibition and enjoy this and understand the visual vocabulary, how a person can celebrate his own life through his work. And thank you very much for an opportunity to share my few words along with sharing this dais along with the celebrities. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Murthy sir, for your nice words. In one of the chapters, Professor Bhaskaran very systematically marks whether it is a man or woman, whether it is a cat or a fish, whatever I paint is a journey towards the proclamation and also procreation, which will result in imagery that is going to play on my canvas. That's what he records it, and now I welcome publisher and also the director and chairman of the Dot Art School, Ramanathan, to quickly say a few words.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and everyone present here. So with utmost pride and pleasure, I stand here as a publisher. So for this book release function of R.B. Bhaskaran sir's book, Navigating Culture Through Formal Aesthetics, 6 Decades of R.B. Bhaskaran's Art Journey. Dot School of Design is Chennai's first exclusive design college, which is having fine arts also as a program along with the design. Our goal is to produce industry-ready design professionals with more practical knowledge and technical skills, with the right training of art and creative thoughts, where students can be responsible member of the society by instilling cultural awareness, artistic judgment, and professional knowledge. Art and design have the capacity to arouse the powerful emotions, whose creations are remarkable and incomparable in any aspect. As a pioneer of design education in Tamil Nadu, we take pride in publishing the book of the last 6 decades of R.B. Bhaskaran sir, which is talking about the culture, how it got developed in Tamil Nadu and especially South India. By understanding the need, Dot School of Design takes pride in this, creating this opportunity and published. This is our first book which we got published in the name of Dot Publication. And we are honored to be have this opportunity given by R.B. Bhaskaran sir to publish it. We hope to come up with more initiative to improve the quality of art and design education. Also, I want to request Karnataka Chitrakalā Parishad to translate this book in Kannada and circulate to all the libraries of the schools and colleges. Dot Publications is very much open to any type of association with Karnataka Chitrakalā Parishad for the benefit of the artist and the student fraternity. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity of the management of Karnataka Chitrakalā Parishad, and special thanks to Mr. Sashidhar and Dr. B.L. Shankar for organizing this great event. Also wants to convey my best regards to Dr. Kulkarni, who talked about this book very nicely. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ramanathan. Now we come to the center of today's attraction, Professor Bhaskaran sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni. Welcome you all. I'm happy to see such a large gathering to witness a huge exhibition which I have never ever shown in Chennai also. Last time that I had a major show of about 200 works was in 2005 at Jahangir Art Gallery in Bombay. The reason is you do the show and it has to have some purpose. The reason why I chose Chitrakalā Parishad is my close association with the institution. Like I've seen this institution grow from the day the land was allotted by government. There's blogging of Madam and my friend Nanjunda Rao, Madam Kamalakshi. They have worked so hard, and on every stage I used to be a witness, from the building, from the establishment of art institution. They have started on a small note, a small room which they have started. I have visited, and there is an autograph there in the visitor's book, me and another artist signing the book on a Sunday morning with the snacks. I visited. So day on and on, we have been closely associated with the institutions. And today, I brought this again. I told Mr. Sashidhar Rao also that the purpose of this exhibition is to enhance the imagination and arguments with the self by the students of Chitrakalā Parishad. They have masters they have undergraduate courses, but they have to see a load of an artist's work, not one exhibition, not few paintings. A career teacher, a career artist for over 60 years, the way it started. And it also tells you the way an art movement has begun in Chennai. An art movement began in Karnataka. The first ever show I had was in a small room called Kritika Art Gallery on St. Mark's Road here. But that was the earliest show where there were no universities, no faculty of fine art here, no art institution. I know there was Davangere had a school that time. That too was functioning at Mysore. So my association with this institution is so close that I wanted to show it here for the benefit of the students. You can see the show is not for sale at all. It has to go back to my studios. But the purpose of exhibiting such a large show, though there was no space, I asked Mr. Sasidhar Rao to take it downstairs where you have to see. See, I am a practicing painter and a printmaker. I was teaching printmaking for 30 years and I was also painting side, and a studio is there for me to paint also. So the career has been wide, and this wide space has to be understood by artists and art students. Coming back to the few words that Ranjivi Singh has said, art in a nicer way, he has very well defined the formal aesthetics, and that is what I wanted him to say this. The way navigating culture through formal aesthetics. It has been like that. And then the other word that he said is, what is Indian? What is Indianness? I simply said, I am an artist, born in Chennai, living in India, I am an Indian. So whatever I create becomes Indian automatically. Even if I do a painting, Raza has done it, abstraction, and many artists, but they do abstraction within themselves. But that cannot be said, oh, it is not Indian. How do you define it? So the whole process of defining art is still here. You can argue with these works. And I must say, the few words that Dr. Murthy has said, fine, it's a long journey. But above all, I'm a great admirer of Murthy's drawings. When you talk about drawings, drawing you can do. I've seen many drawings, right from Picasso onwards. But the lines M.S. Murthy has got in him, so perfect, so crisp, including his signature. In one line, so beautifully done. So when a work of art goes into you and it remains in you, that's the greatest thing one can enjoy, that you really love a work of art. And finally, now I have to say a few words about the publisher. I had my show. I requested Ramnathan to sponsor the show for me because that's again an art school, a design school. He exhibited it. At the same time, I was preparing for releasing a book, printing. The book was already written by Dr. Ashrafi in 2019. Then it became absolutely impossible to do anything because of the COVID. And the whole text is available. It needs to be printed. Then Ramnathan said, sir, being chairman of the design school, I will become the first publisher of this book, which is a remarkable thing. To publish an art book, not easy. You can put a small story books in black and white, you put it in the litho and then it comes. But printing an art book is very, very difficult. It consumes a lot of energy and it has to have a lot of input. Financially it is expensive. And I thank Mr. Ramnathan to do this, and I wish he should also continue to publish art education books. Dr. Kulkarni would know. He was a former student and then a professor of art history. He won't even acknowledge a book for the purpose of teaching art institution. Is there a book on teaching aesthetics in India, or is there a book on a textbook for an art student? Is there a book? There is not a single book in the entire country which tells you a textbook for an art institution. what do you teach in the first year, what do you teach in the second year, how do you go about all. There is no, I mean, we are all having different languages, Tamil, Kannada, Hindi, but at least one common language is there. Why don't you do that? It is not available. So how do you expect art to grow? So these are problems that we face. As I know, I have at least conducted 3 or 4 art education seminars here. Recently, Dr. Kulkarni also did this. But at what result? Nothing. Today, I had mentioned Dr. Chiranjeevi sir, the difficulty in exhibiting at NGMA, Bangalore. It is a government institution, so large, donated by Manikyavid. But there are difficulties. Person like me, to exhibit, they have screening committees, they'll have it. Then you have to sign a contract, which is a contract like a big document. And you have to bear the entire expenses. Then why should I go there when I have a huge place like this? So there are difficulties in exhibiting in National Gallery of Modern Art. All the 3 National Gallery of Modern Arts in Bombay, Delhi and in Bangalore. You can have institution, but the role of an institution is not to be the boss of an institution to sit. You have to search. There are so many. I am today 81, somebody has done it for me, I am here talking to you the problems. But there are many, many more artists sitting at the age of 90, unrecognized, no documentation, living with hardships. It is the role of these national institutions to fetch them and help them. So, thank you all. I thank Sasidhar Rao and I thank Dr. Shankar for giving me this opportunity. I thank all the board members and the organization for giving me this opportunity. I thank you all, especially my family. My sister is here and I'm so happy that she is here today. Thank you.
Your association with CKP and the art fraternity. So now I request Dr. B.L. Shankar sir to make the presidential address.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. At the outset, I would like to thank Professor R.B. Bhaskaran for exhibiting some of his works which were not exhibited even in Chennai so far. And it is a great honor for Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad and Bangalore in particular and to whole of Karnataka, so that the interested people can see and appreciate the works of Professor R.B. Bhaskaran, which are rare works to be seen by everybody. And I also would like to thank Ramanathan for having offered to associate with Chitrakala Parishad in taking forward the different fields of education associating with his institutions. Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad is also wants to expand itself in the field of animation and design schooling, because it has art education has become highly competitive. Almost all the engineering colleges have started it as a branch in many of their colleges, and pure fine art education is facing lot of challenges, and it is the time that we should also venture into different branches so that we are also financially sustainable, and the government also wants us to be financially independent and sustainable without depending on government for a long time. We are grateful to the Karnataka government and many people in the government for having, they have helped us in giving this land and helping us constructing this building and all that. We have a beautiful new campus in Rajarajeshwari Nagar also. They have helped in a big way for the art education and for art field also. It is very rare to have such a large exhibition of such a renowned artist in one place. We were not knowing that we had just booked 2 galleries for Bhaskaran sir, that he will be bringing few works and it's just a book launching program. But for our surprise, he landed with not less than 200 of his works in Bangalore. So fortunately another gallery, Dr. D. Devaraja's gallery was available and so we are exhibiting it there also. Otherwise we would have booked all the 4 galleries for Mr. Bhaskaran, because it is a great honor to exhibit the works of Bhaskaran for 10 days. It is open until 9th of April, it is open for public. Even if Bhaskaran ji has not committed for any other exhibition, I just discussing with Shashidhar also to continue this exhibition in our college also, where we also have a gallery, which will be more beneficial for the students. My special thanks to Bhaskaran ji because he is available in the gallery tomorrow and day after here to interact with anybody who wants to interact with him. Also, he is conducting some workshops for our college students in the new campus on Monday and Tuesday. He is available there and he is spending a day in painting department, he is spending a day in graphics department. It is a great gesture and from Bhaskaran ji. So, such a senior artist, though he has an association of about 5 decades with Chitrakala Parishad, his love and affection for Chitrakala Parishad is still continuing because of his long association with this institution and also his personal friendship with late Professor M.S. Nanjundarao. So we are thankful to you, sir, for your time, and our students are lucky and our faculty will also be, I feel they are also lucky to have such a long time. He has given 2 days to interact with the students and faculty members. Chitrakala Parishad has travelled a very long way in coming to this stage, and certainly nowadays we need the patronage of the government, also the patronage of senior artists to take it forward in a better way. And I thank the publisher for having offered himself to get it translated from our side into Kannada. We'll do it, sir. We'll try to do it and try to find out what will be the cost of it and all that. And we also look forward for your help in this regard so that it will be beneficial to all the colleges in Karnataka. And art education is, after this new education policy, there are new challenges also for art education also, because of this lateral entry provisions that has been made in new education policy. Anybody can choose these courses midway and join. Suppose in a fine art college, an architecture student can also come, a design student can also come. Same way, a artist student can also go to architecture or some other music or anything, dance. So it is a little complicated and lot of curiosity is there how it will succeed, but lot of challenges are there in implementing this new education policy. And Karnataka claims itself to be the first state to implement the new education policy in the entire country. But as far as publication is concerned, anything putting into printing and documenting it is very much necessary, sir, because history will judge us by only what is there available for the next generation and future generation to see and read. There was an impression that when the visual media came and the social media came, this whole print media will go away and this art will go away, everything will be modern and all that. But I am happy that the print media and the art has stood and accepted the challenge of the new technology innovations, and it has strongly stood on its feet and it has successfully accepted that challenge, and it is surviving also. Even the print media is also surviving and the books will also survive. Whatever may be the new technology that may venture in to our country or the world, but this print media and the documentation is there to survive, and it will be there to see for the next future generations also. So we will see that all your books and reaches our colleges, and most of the students will have the benefit of going through it. And if possible, Andani sir is also here, and we should see that all the students and all the colleges in our state should have the benefit of seeing and getting some knowledge from these books, which are, I think we can't just value it in terms of money. It is a great treasure that has been created by Professor Bhaskaran and also Dr. Bhagat, who has reduced it to writing, and a beautiful, very quality printing that has been done by the people, Ramanathan and his friends. I congratulate all of them, and I also want to see that Chiranjeevi Singh wants us, Saab wants, he is a well-wisher of us, he is almost part of Chitrakala Parishad from the day he joined the service in Karnataka, and he wants us to become a publishing center also as far as the artworks are concerned. It is a huge challenge, but I think the purpose for which government helped us to in giving land, giving the building and continuously giving us grant, it is also, I think it is nothing wrong if they expect us to venture into all these things. Certainly I will place it before our decision making management body and see that a portion of our earning, whatever it is there, will go for publishing also. Recently we had a publication released by Professor M. J. Kamalakshi, and last year, before last year, we had a publication on Ganji for Arts, and Chitrakala Parishad is doing its best in see that everything is documented and published. I think it is not enough. Whatever we have done, it is not enough. We have to go a very long way. Certainly we take it seriously, sir. Whatever suggestions that has been given by Chiranjeevi Singh sir, we will also take it seriously, and also one of our branches will also be in the future to come, it will be publishing also one of the activities of Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad. We hope that we will be able to make it. I once again thank Professor Bhaskaran ji and the publishers Ramanathan ji for having given an opportunity in Bangalore for Karnataka Chitrakala Parishad, for launching it in Bangalore. I think it will be a great opportunity for the people of Karnataka to visit his exhibition and also go through whatever that has been reduced into writing. I also thank all of you for having made it on the weekend to this occasion, and out of your regards and respects for Professor Bhaskaran, most of you have made it. I especially thank Madam Bhaskaran ji also for having come all the way from Chennai to this program, and his family members. And once again I thank all of you for having made it to this function. Thank you.
MS Murthy sir. And I request President Dr. B.L. Shankar sir to hand over the memento to Sri Ramanathan. So, yeah, we almost come to end of the program. I request Sri B.L. Srinivas sir to propose the vote of thanks.
200ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಕಲಾಕೃತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ದಿವಸ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ 2 ಗ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಮತ್ತು ದೇವರಾಜ ಅರಸು ಗ್ಯಾಲರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನಕ್ಕೆ ನೀಡಿರುವುದು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಗತಿಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಇಂದಿನ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಂಥ ನಂಜುಂಡರಾವ್ ಅವರ ಸಂಪರ್ಕವನ್ನು ಸುದೀರ್ಘವಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಭಾಷಣಗಳು ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಕಲಾಕೃತಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಮತ್ತು ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮುಕ್ತ ಕಂಠದಿಂದ ಹೊಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರೇ, ನಾನು ಆರ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಫೋಲಿಯೋ ಮತ್ತು ಆರ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲೇ ತಾವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಲಾಕೃತಿಗಳ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಾವು ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಫೋಲಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದೆ. ಸರ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ for printing of portfolio, so we will be very happy to publish through Chitrakala Parishad Art Mart, because everyone cannot have your original paintings, but your paintings reproduction can be definitely this. Sure. Great sir, thank you sir. So graciously he has accepted it. Thank you. On behalf of Chitrakala Parishad, I thank sir. You want to say something? Please.
A bouquet specially for Mrs. Bhaskaran. 6 decades of journey would not have been possible but for her support, because an artist's journey is not an easy one.
Thank you, sir, Chiranjeevi Singh. On behalf of Chiranjeevi Singh, ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚುವರಿ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದೊಳಗೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಂಥ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಬಹುಶಃ ಯಾರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ನಿದರ್ಶನ ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇಚ್ಛೆಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗರಿಗೆ 2004ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಲೆದರ್ ಪಪೆಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಲೆದರ್ ಪಪೆಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಆಗ ನನಗೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಇತ್ತು ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಆಗ ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವರು ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಅಂಬಾಸೆಡರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬುಕ್ಕನ್ನು ನೀವು ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದರು. ನಾನು ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸರ್ ಈ ಥರ ನಂಜುಂಡರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಬುಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲೆದರ್ ಪಪೆಟ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಷನ್ದು, ನಾನು ತಂದು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 2 ಅವರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ಪಕ್ಷ 150 ಯೂರೋಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನೇರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಲೂರೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಲೂರೆ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಆಗ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಇವರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಲಾ ಒಂದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ದಿವಸ ಅವರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಪಡಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿ ಸಂತೋಷಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಸರ್, ಐ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರು ಕೂಡ, MS ಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರು ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ಕಲಾವಿದರು ಮತ್ತು ಲಲಿತ ಕಲಾ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಆಗಿ ಅನೇಕ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಶಂಸನೆ ಮಾತುಗಳು ಚಿರಂಜೀವಿ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಮಾತುಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಒಂದು ಬೆರಗು ಮತ್ತು ಮೆರುಗನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ನಾವು ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಾಗೆ ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು, ಈ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಅನೇಕ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ರೋರಿಕ್ ಅವರ ಲೈಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಟು, ರೆಮಿನಿಸೆನ್ಸು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಫೋಲಿಯೋ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂಥ ಸಮಯದೊಳಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅಫೇರ್ ಅದು. ಆದರೆ ನಾನೀಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಭಾಸ್ಕರನ್ ಅವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾನು ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಕಾಗದವನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾದ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಸುದರ್ಶನ್ ಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಲೇಔಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಲೇಔಟು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೇಜ್ ಕೂಡ ಲೇಔಟು ತುಂಬ ಅಚ್ಚುಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೈಜ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪುಸ್ತಕ. ಐ ರಿಯಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮೈರ್ ದ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಟು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಸರ್, ವಿತ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಲೇಔಟ್, with a good color production and with good writing. Everything went on very well, and this book can acclaim for an international standard, sir. So I congratulate Mr. Ramanathan to carry out these activities in your life. Since you are a designing studio institution head, so you publish more and more publications. As you said that, in Kannada translation, we are also going to do it. Our president in his talk is already expressed, and definitely we will try to do it. If you please send me all the whatever the pre-reproduction is there, only the language translation can be done, and it can be printed very cheaper rate also. Okay. Thank you very much for having addressed and also came forward to attend this function. Thank you, sir, on behalf of Chitrakala Parishad and all our members. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಥರನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ರಾಜಕೀಯದೊಳಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಇವರ ಕಲಾ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಅಂತೂ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಮೆಚ್ಚುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥ ಶೈಲಿ, ಅವರು ಗುರುತಿಸುವಂಥ ವಿಚಾರ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಭಾಳ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿದು ಅದನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೇ ಮಾತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಚಾಣಕ್ಯತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಚಾಕಚಕ್ಯತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ವಾತ್ಸಲ್ಯ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಕೈ ಕೆಳಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ನಿಜವಾಗೂ ಪುಣ್ಯವಂತರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಅವರ 2 ಮಾತುಗಳಿಗೆ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ವಕ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತೋರ್ವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಏನು ಭಾಸ್ಕರನವ್ರ ಮಾತಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು ಶೆಡ್ಡಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ನಂಜುಂಡರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟುವಂಥ ಪ್ರತಿ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿರುವಂಥ ನಂಜುಂಡರಾವ್ ಅವರ ಮಗ ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ದಿವಸ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸನ ನಾನು ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೂ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಭಾಳ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರದೊಳಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಲೇಜು ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಚಿತ್ರಸಂತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಾಂತ್ಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಭಾಗಗಳನ್ನು ನೀವು ತೆರೀರಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಬೇಕೋ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದೊಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ವೃಂದದವರು ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳು ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಈ ಮೂಲಕ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರುವಂಥವ್ರು ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಿಗೆ, ತಮ್ಮ ಬಳಗಕ್ಕೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನದಾಗಿ ಇಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ವಂದನಾರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನ 2 ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್. ಸಾರಿ, ಮತ್ತೋರ್ವ ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಈ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತಮ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಮರೆತುಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬಹಳ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣವಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿದು ಆ ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾಪ್ಟರನ್ನು ಓದಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಪಡಿಸಿದಂಥ ಕುಲಕರ್ಣಿ ಮಾಜಿ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರು ಅಂತಲೇ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಅವರು ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾ ಪರಿಷತ್ತಿನ ವತಿಯಿಂದ, ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ಕಲಾವಿದರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.